Hi everyone, I'm Jordana and I am a child sexual abuse survivor. The reason for this video is I am basically trying to raise awareness for, childhood abuse, child sexual abuse. I am going to be uploading numerous videos, containing information on my story and everything that has happened to me. Just to kind of summarize it before I go into everything, I was sexually abused by my dad. He also physically abused me, mentally, emotionally, psychologically abused me from, during my whole childhood. So from being, younger than 5 until I was around 12. It was just me and him. I didn't have a mum, and so, I didn't know who my mum was, I didn't have any contact with her, I didn't know anything about her until the age of about 10, and then from then on I had very minimal contact with her. My story is quite long and quite, there's so many different twists and turns to this, and I can't just tell it all in a 30-minute video. It's not possible. So I will be uploading numerous videos, and they will kind of like just be a carry-on from the last video. I will be naming them with, video 1, 2, 3, 4, just so that it's easier to navigate round, and so that it kind of goes in order. Also, before I, go into this and start talking about my life story, I just kind of want to make everyone aware that this is something that is very difficult for me to do. However, I realise the importance of, speaking up about it. I have had my story in a few different media outlets and a couple of magazines. However, I don't really feel as though, I'm never able to tell my whole story, and I'm always very limited to what I can say. And also, I am, I'm only kind of like asked questions that they want me to answer, so I can never go in depth, and talk really about what I want to speak about. So, eventually I do want to write a book on, my life, and I have started it. However, it's something that's very difficult to finish and progress with at this moment in time. So until I'm able to finish that is the reason for these videos. I want to go in depth and tell my story to the best of my ability, as much information as I can possibly give everyone. I want people to, society is more open now to learning and bringing awareness to the subject. I want people to learn. I want, other survivors that have been through this to, maybe watch this and hopefully it helps them in some sort of way. I also, if you are a survivor of this, or, of childhood abuse, or any abuse in general, I encourage you to speak out. And even though, I know it is difficult, it can help, a lot. I do know that there is also people that are survivors, and that find it very difficult to share, and they don't, they're too ashamed to share their story, and that is completely fine as well. It is completely up to you. Whatever you choose to do, you you have been through this, and you are, whatever you decide to do, whether you decide to share or whether you don't, you are a strong person, and I am sorry that you have had to go through this, and that you have had to make a decision whether to share or not. Also, another thing that I would like to say is, like I said before, this is something that's extremely difficult for me to speak about, and especially through a video like this. I don't usually do this. I also am extremely embarrassed and ashamed of all of this. I know that people will be seeing this, that I see, in my everyday life, and I know that this could possibly change their opinions on me, how they, view me. I think as a whole, it is, even though I know it is the right thing to do, it's still a very embarrassing thing for me to share. And I still carry a lot of shame from this. And so if you do see these videos, and if you don't have anything kind to say, please just keep it to yourself. People that are victim to childhood abuse are very, we struggle with ourselves and how we feel in ourselves on a daily basis, and seeing any form of negativity from opening up and sharing our stories it's difficult to read, and to be able for it to just go over our heads, so yeah, if you don't have anything kind to say, just please don't say it. Also, I would like to make people aware that I will not be mentioning any names that are involved in my story. This is, for the protection of them and for the protection of myself. I know that some of my family will, of course, be, have seen this. And I just want you guys to know that I have not done this to, try and make any of you upset, or I've not done this to try and get back at any of you or anything like that. This is purely and simply just done to kind of put it out there and heal myself, and help others. I carried this around with me for so many years, and I wasn't allowed to tell anyone. And living with something like this and all the things that have gone on for so long, not being able to tell anyone, and having to just deal with it, as a child, just having to hold it in and just deal with it every single day, and for it to be a secret. I don't want it to be a secret anymore. I am 28 now, and like I said, I spent so many years keeping this a secret, and people weren't able to know what was actually happening to me. So now I want people to know what happened to me, because it's important. It's important for people to to realise that stuff like this does go on behind closed doors, and you can't always, from the person, you can't always tell that it's happening. I just don't want to be in the dark with this anymore. You know, I've been sharing my story for a while now. However, I've never, like I said before, I've never really been able to go into much depth and detail, and so this time I am as raw as it can be, just putting it all out there, and I am, you know, unlocking those secrets and basically making it so that I don't have to live with this held in anymore. I don't want, you know, I don't want any backlash from this from any of my family members. And like I said, I'm not trying to cause any sorts of, you know, bad reactions or anything. I'm just trying to tell my story, and I hope that this can be appreciated and respected. Another thing before we get started, you know, this happened for so many years of my life, and I have also had traumatic events that have, you know, carried on happening after this. And so, you know, I as a person do struggle. I struggle with my depression and anxiety mainly. And I just want to, you know, let everyone know that it's okay to be struggling. It's okay to not have everything together, because nobody has everything together. But it's even more so okay for us to not have stuff together, you know. We're all healing. We're all on this journey to, you know, self-love and to try and get past what has happened.